Yo, I have faith in humanity again. There are some good people still in this world. And I must admit that. You know, over this past few weeks, it's been tough. It's been tough as I listen to John Coltrane. It's been tough. I got in a situation where I was short on my rent. Long story short, I explained it in other videos, but I had lost my other employment, and I didn't have them sign any paperwork. You know, I didn't have them give them any paperwork. They just called me in the office, said we're deciding to part ways. You can come back in 6 months, you know. And I didn't think to say, okay, can you put that in paper? But not that it would even matter, you know, now that I think about it. So that happened towards the middle of the month. And then I applied for unemployment insurance because I decided, hey, I'm going to need some money since I'm not working. And so I applied for it, and the employer ended up, you know, I told them everything that happened in the interview, and the interview was like an interrogation. I should have knew something was wrong when the Hispanic woman that was interviewing me seemed like she was interrogating me, like I was lying. I should have knew something was up then. But nevertheless, you know, I tried, I kept calling them back. I was calling them like 10 or 12 times like a day, when it was like, I'm like, what's going on? What's taking so long? You know? And finally, they give me the decision that I was disqualified. That money would have helped me take care of my rent and be cool, but I was disqualified. And when I called and asked them why was I disqualified, they said, the employer basically said I was a no call, no show. So they lied, the employer lied in order not to have to get a point or pay anything, even though they're a multi-million-dollar company. You know, that's how cold these employers are, and that just proves how cold the government is, because they take their side over the small guy. So then I started another job right towards the end of the month. But as you know, as everybody knows that lives in this country, rent is due on the 1st. Some places give you a grace period of 5 days, some 4. But so I'm like, damn, I'm reaching out to people now. And I'm reaching out to people because I know that if I don't get this money, then, you know, if I don't get some assistance, I'm going to be in trouble, because I started the new job I started at the end of the month. I'm not going to get enough time to accumulate enough money to make my rent on time. And just like I thought, you know, I got the eviction letter saying I need to take action. So I'm reaching out to people that I know, friends, family, you know, family, I guess relatives. I can't really call them family no more. And no one's responding. My uncle, he gave me about $100, but you know, that's not enough. That's not, you know, I'm down to $700 to $800. I'm short about $700 to $800. But my uncle gave me what I guess he felt was enough, and I'm appreciative of it. It helped me get some gas that day for this rental car that I'm in. I'm very transparent. I'm in a rental car because I have to work, and the new job that I started is hundreds of miles from where I actually live. So basically what I've been doing is using this rental car as a hotel, sleeping in this rental car, because I'm like, I need this job. I need this money. Anyway, long story short, so I'm reaching out to them. They're not responding. And my OG, man, he's been very instrumental in my life. He's the one that, inspired me to travel, out of the country more. He's the one that gave me good game throughout all these years. And he said, I remember one time, man, I'm doing this Instacart shit. I'm doing this Instacart and I'm sitting for like hours at a time, man. I'm sitting, it was so slow. I'm sitting for like 5, 6, 7, 8 hours waiting for batches, right? And I only made $30 after like 8 hours. And of just sitting, waiting. And he called me and I told him what was going on. He's like, man, you would have been better off panhandling than, sitting waiting. You probably would have made more. And it was true. So he's like, I'm telling him about the situation. He's not in this country, so he can't really help me. I know he would if he could, but I'm telling him about the situation, and he's like, man, you need to make a sign, tell the people what's really going on. The sign's right here, turn it around, but the sign, tell the people what's really going on. And you know what I'm saying? And people would sympathize with you because I couldn't get no help. I wasn't trying to do that. You know what I'm saying? I was trying to ask friends. I was trying to ask family. Nobody would help. So he's like, make this sign, stand on the corner. And that's what I had to do as a last resort. I'm still working, but when I get off of work, I go stand on the corner with the sign because I'm short rent, and I don't want my family to be kicked out on the street. Why all these people telling me, oh, just go to a shelter. After we hear all the horror stories of what happened to women in shelters, what happened to children in shelters. And they know, if you know that it's more easier for women and children to get into a shelter than it is for men, that means that I'm probably going to be separated from my family, right? So I ain't going to be nowhere around to protect them. And we already hear about the horror stories that happen in these shelters to women. So I'm like, that's not an option. So I stand out there with this sign, and people really came through, man. Strangers really came through. They helped me, man. They helped me. You know what I'm saying? They helped me to, prevent a situation, man, from happening. And it just made me think, man, like I had lost faith. I had lost faith in humanity, man. I had lost faith because of the fact that I'm reaching out to people and nobody, knowing the situation wanted to help. Nobody, man. Even on this YouTube thing, man, like I know I ain't got a lot of followers. I know that. But the ones that I do, I made videos like asking for like donations and stuff like that. Couldn't even get 25 cents. Couldn't even get $1. It's like people are just watching, and I can see people watching the video. I even seen a few likes, and none of them would donate nothing. It is like, damn. It's like either people don't have money, people don't have, smartphones with, Zelle and stuff like that, or Cashapp, which I highly doubt. Our people just are broke or don't care, man. I couldn't understand why with the few followers that I have, nobody could just say, oh, here's this is what I could do. So I had to stand out here on the corner with this sign and get help from strangers in the flesh. And it just lets me know that there are still a few good ones out there, man, even though it's in small numbers, but there are still a few good ones out there. So that it is what it is, man. This is your brother Jay International. Like, share, and subscribe, and we're gonna keep pushing. Donate to the Cash App, and we're gonna keep pushing.